Okay, let's just get right into it. You hear everyone talking about becoming a millionaire, right? But they always skip the most important part, the first real milestone. And believe me, it's not $1 million. It's that first 100,000. Yep, that number. It's without a doubt the hardest part of the entire journey. And I'm not just talking about the money. It's a mental grind. It tests everything about you, your discipline, your patience, even whether you believe this whole thing can actually work. Honestly, it feels like it's designed to break you. So, what's the deal with that? Why is this the number that just breaks most people? Look, understanding why it's so tough is everything. It's the key. Because once you really get it, something clicks. You don't just get motivated, you feel, I mean, truly feel unstoppable. All right, so before we dive deep, just a quick heads up. What we're talking about here, it's not some strict rule book or personalized financial advice. Not at all. Think of this more as a new way to look at the whole journey. This is all about giving you some context, because at the end of the day, your financial path is yours and yours alone. Okay, so the whole thing starts in what I like to call the exhaustion phase. You know that feeling. It's like you're pushing a giant boulder up a ridiculously steep hill, and just when you think you're making progress, it rolls right back down over you. It's nothing but pure, grinding, relentless effort. And let's be super clear about something. All that talk about compounding magic, forget about it, at least for now. In the beginning, there is zero magic. None. Every single dollar that goes into your savings, it comes from one place: your hard work, your paycheck, and the things you choose to give up. I mean, look at this breakdown. In the early days, you're doing basically 99% of the work. You are the entire system. All that effort, all that sacrifice. And the market? It's barely even helping. It's that classic story, right? You finally scrape together a few $100, and bam, a flat tire, a surprise medical bill, and you're right back where you started. It's totally that one step forward, two steps back feeling. And this right here, this is the brutal math of it. Let's say you do an amazing job and save up 5 grand, and you get a killer 10% return. Sounds awesome, doesn't it? Well, do the math. That's just $500 for the whole year. Break that down, and it's what, 41 bucks a month? I mean, after all that work, it almost feels like a joke. $41. That's not freedom. That's not going to change your life. That's a tank of gas. Maybe. And this is where the real damage happens. It's not about the money, it's emotional. You start to question everything. You think, man, am I just spinning my wheels? If I'm trying this hard and getting literally nowhere, what is the point? Want to know how long this slog can feel? Just imagine this. You save $500 every single month, no excuses. If we don't even count market returns, you know how long it takes to hit that first 100K? Over 16 years. 16. That's 16 years of grinding it out, saying no to stuff, and watching all your friends seemingly lap you. But this is the part you have to understand. What you're going through, it isn't failure. It's not. It's an initiation. It's a test. This whole phase is like a filter designed to weed out the people who are just wishful thinkers from those who are actually going to be wealthy. And guess what? Most people quit right here, in the quiet, boring, frustrating part, right before things are about to get good. But if you push through that grind, that's when you hit the reward. We're talking about the inflection point. This is where you finally build up enough momentum, enough critical mass, that the laws of financial gravity start to bend in your favor. For the first time, your money really starts to work for you. Remember this? Back when you had 5 grand, that same 10% return was a measly $500, barely a rounding error for all your blood, sweat, and tears. It's so discouraging, and yeah, this is exactly where most people throw in the towel. But watch what happens when you get to 50,000. Now that same 10% return, it spits out $5,000. Whoa. All of a sudden, we're not talking about a tank of gas anymore. That could be a whole month of income that you didn't have to clock in for. You can literally feel the momentum shifting. And then you hit it, the big one. At $100,000, that 10% return is now $10,000 a year. Think about that. That's 10 grand you didn't have to do a single thing for. Your money is now a real employee, working for you around the clock. This, my friend, is the inflection point. You've officially gone from being the worker to being the owner. You know, getting past that 100K mark, it's so much more than just a number on a screen. It's a fundamental shift in who you are. Remember that boulder you were pushing uphill? Well, now you're not pushing it anymore. You're the one designing the smooth downhill path for it to roll on its own. I mean, just look at the difference here. Before, you were the system. Every single dollar saved came from your brute force. But after, you become the architect. You stop laying every single brick by hand, and you start designing the blueprint for the whole skyscraper.
And because of that, your whole way of thinking just changes. The questions you ask yourself are on a totally different level. It's not just, how can I save a bit more, anymore. It becomes, how do I make this system work even harder for me? How can I automate this whole thing so I don't even have to think about willpower? You're not just playing defense anymore. You're on offense.
All right, so if hitting 100K is such a game changer, why on earth do so few people actually make it? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple. It's usually not a math problem. People don't fail because of their finances. They stall out because of their emotions.
It really comes down to these 3 momentum killers. Number 1, lifestyle inflation. You get a pay bump, but your spending goes up even more. Classic. Number 2 is inconsistent habits. You're all in for a few months, then you fall off the way again. And number 3, emotional spending. Using your card to deal with stress or boredom or whatever. Honestly, most of us could get there if we just stopped getting in our own way. So let's bring it all home. Why is it so damn hard? Because it's supposed to be. It's not a bug, it's a feature. It's a forging process. It's designed to force you to build the discipline, the habits, really, a whole new identity. It was never really about the first $100,000. It's about becoming the kind of person who knows what to do with the second. So look, if any of this sounds familiar, if you felt that struggle, I want you to know you're not failing. You are building the foundation. And once that foundation is solid, what do you need next? The blueprint. The good news is that step-by-step action plan from A to Z to build your freedom, it's waiting for you right here on our channel. Because once you get over this first massive hurdle, you realize something profound. You realize the question you've been asking yourself this whole time? It was the wrong question. It was never, can I build wealth? The real question is, how far can I take this? So if this explainer helped you see the road ahead a little differently, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button because the real action plan to buy back your freedom is coming. And if you're feeling inspired right now, drop the word freedom in the comments below. I want to see who's ready to get past the grind.